Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. So today we're going to do a little lesson on MLA, which is the way we cite books, texts when we're writing for English and other uh, language type courses. So many of you, my social scientists, and even my scientists, I think, next year will probably use APA, which is the American Psychological Association. You'll use that instead of MLA, but they're very similar. And when you learn one, you can learn the other pretty easily. So we're just going to review a little bit of that. And so I got a little presentation. There's a sheet that you can follow along and fill out as you watch this presentation. If you have a printer, if not, maybe just look at the sheet afterwards and see the things you remember all the little points. Okay, so MLA, off we go. Here we are. All right, so MLA. So it stands for the Modern Language Association. It's a group of scholars that create this this little book. The good thing about it is it's only like, I don't know, 80 pages, and the book costs like $10. So I think the APA handbook is like 100 or more. So, but you can get away with just looking on websites as well to find out about these kinds of things, how to do it and whatnot. So they basically make one of these every 4 years or so. They come out with one of these books and they update it so that they have a guideline of citing sources. Why do we care? Well, they'll help you help a curious reader retrace your research steps. They help you build credibility because you're sort of using the language, the technique and style that academics use. And you're going to give credit to people who've done work that you want to talk about, and you're avoiding the big one, avoiding plagiarism. Pardon me. So plagiarism is when you pass off your someone else's work as your own, and it's a hugely important thing in post-secondary. You do not want to have a plagiarism accusation leveled against you. There are students who get kicked out of school, or whatever. They fail the course for plagiarizing. So you got to be really careful about that. All right, keep track of two things: your in-text citations and your works cited page. So the in-text citations, that's as you're within your essay, and the works cited page is kind of at the end. It's a bibliography, but in MLA it's called works cited. In APA it's called references, but in MLA it's called works cited. All right, so in-text, they're called parethetical notation. So at the end of the sentence, you put the author's name and the page number and within parentheses. And it will say, so anytime that it's ideas that come from somebody else, so direct quotes, paraphrasing, another source's research, theories, or ideas, another source's argument or opinions, facts that are not commonly known, another source's visuals, tables, graphs, images, statistics, etc. And the works cited page used to be called bibliography. It's a complete list of your sources using your paper. Locate the last page of your essay, and you follow the format. And it's pretty easy. It's really easy. It's super easy. And I'm going to show you next week the ref tab, or in the coming weeks, I'm going to show you the ref tab on Microsoft Word, which is like just the slickest thing ever for keeping both your works cited and your in-text citations, keeping it all straight. Let the software handle it, and it's really, really good. Okay, next. In-text citations. Suppose you wanted to use a line from a book or online article that you found as part of your essay. Just include the author's last name and the page numbers where you found the material. Then, all of a sudden, it was like I opened my eyes one day and I noticed that the world is full of beautiful girls, and I've had a hard time thinking about anything ever since. Bieber, 71. Yes, that Bieber. So at the end here, you notice there's no period beside the quotation marks, and then the opening parentheses, Bieber, no comma, page 71. You don't have to put pages, 71. Close the parentheses, and then the period goes there. So no period, no comma, and the period at the end. Yep, he did write a book. Another way to handle in-text citations is with Signal phrases. Signal phrases. So if you use the author's name in your sentence, you need only include the page number as a citation. In her autobiography, Kim Kardashian explains that my first white Range Rover was so special. It was the first car I got on my own. It had pink trim, and it was such a smooth ride, so comfortable to be in, and luxurious. 59. So if you see there, Kim Kardashian is mentioned in this signal phrase at the start, so you don't have to put Kardashian 59. You just put 59. See? No period. Period goes there. So you close quotes, open parentheses, page number, close parentheses, period. Yes, the Kardashians did write books. Remember, any material you use that comes from a source needs an in-text citation and needs to be included in the works cited page. What if you're just summarizing somebody else's idea or information? You still need a citation. Let's use a more academically sound source for this example. Oh, Stephen King's On Writing. What a great book. Stephen King is just so, he's just so great. So here's a summarizing, right? So it's kind of a summarizing of what King says. So before finding success as a writer, Stephen King worked as a high school English teacher, a profession he admits zapped most of his creative energy. 73, period. So it's a paraphrase or a summary of what he said. So, and it's on page 73. But you could do it another way. You could present it with a direct quote like this. King said, I liked my coworkers and I loved the kids, but by most Friday afternoons, I felt as if I'd spent the week with jumper cables clamped to my brain. 73. So one's the paraphrase, one's the direct quote. Works cited page. All right, so it gives more details where you found the information in your paper. So it would say King and the page number, but you go to the end of the essay and there would be a full accounting of what that source is. So it includes these 9 core elements if the information is available. Not every source has all those items, so you have to use your judgment. Author, title of source, title of container, other contributors, version, number, publisher, publication date, location. And then from the book, there's often more than one correct way to document a source. All right. Bit more detail. Last name, first name, King, comma, Stephen. Title of the source. So if it's a standalone book on writing, it could be the chapter or section title if you only use that part. A newspaper, magazine, academic journal article title. Website article headline title. YouTube video title. The container, so the book that contained the chapter, the title of the academic journal that an article was located in, main website that the web page you used was on, database where a journal or article was found, and the online streaming provider such as Netflix or YouTube. If it's important to what you're writing about to include information about any contributors, editors, translators, introduced by, illustrated by, narrated by. 5 and 6, the version number and the issue number, the version, edition, volume, and then number, issue. So if you're quoting from an academic journal, they often have version or editions or volumes, and then the issue number. So it'd be like volume 7, issue 12, and each volume would be possibly be an academic year. So yeah, so you could use you could include those if you were using a journal from an academic journal. Name of publisher. Omit any business words such as company, corporation, incorporated, limited. So like Simon & Schuster, one of the publishers, big publisher. The date, publication date, the published date for articles, online materials, and the copyright date for printed materials. Use the exact page number for printed materials, P for single page, PP for multiple pages. Use the exact URL for online sources. Don't use shorteners like bit.ly, tiny URL, and etc. You can omit the HTTP and HTTPS. Yes, the full link looks clunky on the page, but teachers, professors read papers on screens often. I don't, but nowadays I probably would, and it's convenient to have clickable links. Another thing to note is punctuation. So period, period, and then there's everything else is commas. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not that hard, especially you can use software to do all this. So, like I said before, it looks like this. King, Stephen, on writing, Scribner 2000. Or if you just use a single page, King, Stephen, on writing, Scribner 2000, P73. So notice the book is italicized just because it's a long book. Like longer works are always italicized and shorter works are often in quotation marks. Or if you use a clump of pages, right, PP and P. Use P for single pages, PP for multiple pages. For this citation, which of the 9 core elements are included? Author, title, publisher, publication date, location in the book. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 9. Yeah, so once I just said that, italicized, major works are italicized, smaller works are put in quotation marks. All right, we try one here. All right, so this would be on your note sheet, okay? So you can press pause in the video and go and you can do this info on your note sheet and fill it out. So build a works cited entry for the bits of information taken from this magazine article inside Einstein's mind. All right, press pause, do it now. Meet me on the other side. Now press pause. If you haven't pressed pause yet, press pause. Have you pressed pause? Okay, come on. Press pause. And welcome back. Andy Berger, all in his head. Discover Magazine, Volume 37, Number 5, Calmac Publishing, June 2016, pp 26 to 31. So that's what it would look like for that one. A bit more about containers. You may need to add a little bit more info where you found your information because databases, e-reading platforms, media streaming services all host other published works. If you use one of these, you'll just add an extra scoop of info to your citation. So if you want to use an article from an online journal database called Gale Group, here's what you have. Beginning of article, end of article. Is Google making us dumber? Citation would look like this. Watkins, Randy, is Google making us dumber? In quotations. It's in a journal, so distance learning. Information Age Publishing, December 2015, and then student resources in context, Gale Group, and then the URL at the end. It's a super long URL. So there you go. You'll use this thing in your citation. Yep. And then the first chunk ends here, but the second container, online databases, include a second scoop of student resources in context. There we go. And then a sample works cited page. Double space, all lines, 12-point font, Times New Roman, yeah, or not, just no wacky fonts. Okay, no wacky fonts. And you can use it. I'll show this when I talk about the ref tab on the reference tab on Microsoft Word. But you can set if you use the ruler in Word, you can set this up so that it automatically indents every second line. So it's kind of reverse of a paragraph. So the first line is only 1 inch and the second line is 1.5 inches. So you have to indent it a little bit further. And I'll show you how to do that with the ruler next time. What if more questions arise as you work? You can visit the MLA.org Style Center That's a good one. Or you can go to OWL, Owl at Purdue. That's an awesome academic writing website. I'm sure you've heard of it before. It's like the place that everyone goes. So, congratulations. You're now ready to successfully navigate academic circles. I can't talk this morning. All right. I guess that's it. Look at that. The circles. Okay. So hopefully you filled out that little page and have a better idea of MLA, and there'll be more stuff to do with that later on down the road. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you on Friday.